Hi, welcome to Scentuality. I just wanted to make a video just basically going over some things that I've mentioned before in a previous video because lately I've received some messages from people who feel very empowered by watching some of my videos, and I don't feel like my videos are very informative in a way um, that says this is the exact way that you do things, this is what you should do, this is why you should do it. I don't believe I give the why very often, and that's purely because I just work on an intuitive basis. It's how I approach all things, and before I pick up a book, before I look for a teacher, I spend many hours just trying to figure out things for myself. So when I make videos, they're more for me because in the beginning I just thought it was a good way to document my journey. I also thought it would help motivate me. So basically, I don't feel like I give a lot of information, but I think what I do is empower people just with that initial belief that if you want to make perfume, you can make perfume. Start small, get yourself 15 oils, make a perfume. Then from that perfume, you'll understand a lot more. You'll understand, for instance, when I'm making a perfume, I can smell that perfume and smell what's missing. But in the beginning, when I had very few materials, I'd always smell something, a note, and I think it definitely needs that note, but I don't have any materials. So then what do? You can't really go any further forward. But what you do learn is that you need some more notes. So instead of just randomly buying your next oils, you can try out these specific notes that you detected with your nose that your perfume was lacking, that you think might have helped. And that's what I do. I don't really look at books. I don't look to see how other people are doing things. I just do it like that, and I just learn as I go, and I have more fun that way, and it's personal to me. And you know, I'm really in there. I'm really deep in it, and it's just, you know, I can't really explain it in a better way. I just think that building your intuition in anything in life helps you with everything else in life. And perfume is no exception. You can really learn a lot just by sitting with a few oils by yourself, doing the actual practical, having the experience, because the experience will change you. It will change your thoughts and feelings, it will develop everything, and it will propel you forward. You really don't need a book, you don't need a teacher, you just need to be prepared and ready just to try things. Be willing to make mistakes. You learn the most from making mistakes. And you know, you'll be able to make perfume, no bother. All you really need is some oils. You need some ethanol. If you want to dilute oils, because in perfumery some oils are really strong, so they're used in dilution, then you just need to dilute them with ethanol, or you can dilute them with DPG. You need some droppers, some pipettes. If in the beginning you could just get a glass one, as long as you make sure you rinse it out in ethanol after you administer each oil. This can be a little bit tricky because it's hard to tell sometimes the right moment when you should change the ethanol, definitely when it starts to change color. But what I tend to do is just smell that pipette after you've used it with an oil, and just make sure it smells like ethanol and it doesn't smell like the oil you've dipped it in. But yeah, best practice is to use some plastic pipettes and then you just throw them away afterwards. And you need a bottle to put your perfume in, and that's about it. That's really all you need. It is an expensive hobby, don't get me wrong, but you can start off small. Oils do tend to last for a long time. If you're just making perfume for yourself, you know, I've got oils that I bought 2 years ago and I've been using them, but you know, because I'm not using massive amounts of them in each perfume, they're still there. And you know, I originally bought just 10 milliliter bottles, so they can last a long time. Don't be put off by the cost of them, because they can be a good investment. So yeah, you know, if you want to make perfume, just make perfume. It just simplify everything, and you can get complicated the more you learn. And the thing is, the further down that road that you go, you start off simple, and you will eventually get a lot more complicated with your perfumes. But because you're learning as you go, they'll never seem complicating to you. They'll never be complicated to you. They'll always be at that same level of simpleness, because you won't move on to the next step until you are actually ready to move on to the next step, and you will not understand the next piece of information until you are actually ready to understand that next piece of information. So fear not, because you're always going to be prepared for the next step, because it's a natural progression. So don't be afraid, you know, just get your hands dirty, just do the practical, make some perfume. Just, you know, my inspiration, perfume smells, I really love them, and I love it when a smell intoxicates me, and I love it when it has an emotional response in me, a physical response. And you know, it's just like my favorite smell is the smell of sex. It's just incredible, this alchemical potion, and it carries this information in it. It has this physical response. It transports me to another place. I find it deeply comforting. It is deeply arousing, but it's also inspirational, and it's full of life, and it's carnal, and it's raw, and it's animalic. It's nature. It's human, and you know, it's honest. And I appreciate that about scent. I appreciate the fact that in perfumes you're going to find things that you probably would never have guessed are in perfumes. You would never have guessed, you know, things like castoreum, things like civet. You would never have imagined that you would have like butyric acid, which is one of 5 copulins found in the vagina. You would never imagine, if you're just a consumer of perfume, that these things are actually in perfumes. And you know, it just makes them so powerful. It makes them you know, they're potions. It's not just about smelling a perfume and you just smell a smell and you think, oh yeah, that's pleasing, that's nice. It's like, get deep into it, and there's lots of levels in there. You know, you can get perfumes that have blood accords, perfumes that have semen accords, perfumes that have skin accords. You know, it's like, it's just, you can find everything in a perfume. You can find nature in a perfume. You can find animals in perfumes. You can find humans in perfumes. You know, there's lots of knowledge there. There's lots of voices talking. There's lots of feelings. There's lots of emotions. It's just amazing. It's, you know, and if you feel like that about something, then just go for it. And do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. Just do it for yourself. You know, do everything for yourself. Feed yourself. That should be your motivation when it comes to a hobby or a creative endeavor. Never do it for anything other than the love of it. And you know, I'm probably rambling on, but it's just, I find that sometimes myself, I feel like I need the permission from somebody else to do something, and it's just this bad habit. It's this thing that you grow up with, because so many people tell you you can't, because they don't believe that they can. And you just really have to free yourself from that, because you can do anything you want to do. You just have to point your life towards it, and you know, go on the journey. Might take a long time, but if that's where you want to go, just keep walking. Don't turn off the path. Keep going down the same road, and you know, don't look back. You've only got this life, as far as we all know, so just live it in the way that you want to live it. But you know, don't say that you can't. Don't believe that you can't, because you can. There's nobody above you. Just understand that you have to put yourself into it. If you want to get what you want out of it, you really have to invest your time in it, and that's really all that it is. So yeah, just a quick rant, a quick thing to get off my chest, just something I was inspired to say. it probably just sounds like a big mess. I feel like I rambled on a lot there. Maybe when I edit this video, I'll be able to make it a little bit more cohesive. But yeah, have a good Christmas if you are celebrating Christmas. And yeah, maybe I'll make one more video before Christmas, and then I probably won't make another until the new year. But have a good Christmas, and thanks for watching if you tuned in. And if you're making perfume, if you're just getting started, if you're starting now at Christmas, then I hope you have a great time making perfume.